It's Rob, leave a message. If it's Jim, the golfing machine calling, here's what I need you to pick up. Juicy firm scallops, sweet succulent lobster, and a big thick hunk of tenderloin. And remember, a hole-in-one means you're buying.
This is not a drill.
It's time to grill.
Action!
The boys and I were out golfing yesterday, and Jim, my local fishmonger, probably the worst golfer on the planet, gets a hole-in-one. Can you believe it? Well, anyway, as per golfing tradition, he's got to buy a dinner. A very expensive dinner, I might add. And me being the good friend that I am, I'm going to cook it for him. I'm going to do some smoked scallops, smoked lobster, and some beef tenderloin. The beauty of cooking outdoors. Now, I'm also going to do some leek and some spuds. I'm going to leave the skins on because that's going to add even more flavor. My leek, leave the root end in because once it hits the grill, I don't want it to fall apart. I just want to get all the dirt out of here. So just cut it in half, pop that into some water, just let that soak.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Mr. Hole-in-One.
I got everything we need for a wicked dinner.
Wicked. Show me what you got there.
Oh, I got everything you want. Rob, look at that piece of meat.
This is a beautiful tenderloin, man. Jeez, thank you so much.
And I got the scallops and the lobster.
You know what? Can you do me a favor? Just sort of tray out those scallops for me with paper
Sure.
towel. Thank you very much. Let's just get this out here. Beef tenderloin. Very tender cut of meat, very little fat on the inside. The fat that you see on the outside has to come off. It's called elastin, and if you cook it, it'll just shrink your meat up. Just gonna take that off nice and easily.
I've got my eye on him. Great scallops, eh?
Where'd you get them from?
Digby, Nova Scotia. Man, they're like so fresh. Summer's a great time for
Oh, those are really good. They're gonna
eat
be
'em
slow
raw.
smoked too, man.
Really?
Oh, they're gonna be really good.
Looking forward to it. Can I grab some lobster?
Wait.
I'll throw these in the fridge for you.
Gonna do a little dry rub here. Gonna use a little fennel seed, little lemon pepper for some zing, chili for heat, some peppercorns, more heat, more flavor. There we go. A little salt, just a touch, a little kosher salt, and that is it. We're going to blend. Coffee grinder. You can pick this up anywhere. Really good investment. Let's just get this out. Just get that onto the board. Just spread this out.
Oh man, I can smell that.
Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo. La-la-la-dee. You're gonna love this when you get it.
Smells so good.
Yes.
What
What are you doing, Jim?
Just talking to my new caddy.
You needed him yesterday.
Oh man.
You needed him. Can you pop this into the fridge for me?
I bet you I did twice as many strokes as everybody else.
Merci. 6 hours in the fridge. Time for lobsters. Jim, where'd you get these ones from?
I got those from the ocean, Rob. I got them from New Brunswick. They're great, eh?
Oh, they look beautiful.
So what are you doing with these?
Oh, I'm gonna slow smoke those, Jim. They're gonna taste so good once they hit that grill.
Well, I only cooked them like 3 minutes, like you asked me to.
Oh, that's perfect. You know what? When it hits the grill, if they're cooked all the way through, it's really rubbery. I want them to be nice and tender.
Oh, I can't wait to taste one. Listen, I'm gonna go burn my clubs and maybe buy a left-handed set. I don't know. I'll see you later for dinner.
All right, buddy.
All
Talk
right.
to you. So I'm just gonna start 2 little cuts up at the top here. I want all the smoke to penetrate, but I don't want to remove the tail. Just smoking here. So get my trusty scissors underneath. Just keep cutting all the way down. Just cut the membrane here. Make sure you allow all the smoke to go in. There we go. Just pull that back, pull it out, and I've got 3 more to do now. I'm gonna do a flavored mayonnaise for my lobster. First, I'm gonna start with a little white wine. There we go. Want to reduce this down to about 2 tablespoons worth of liquid. Some shallots for flavor. And some star anise, and that's a real good licorice flavor, an adult version of licorice. Just swirl that around, and just let that reduce down to about 2 tablespoons. I've reduced the wine and the shallots and the star anise. Just gonna give this a quick taste. The wine is nice and sweet now. The star anise has really flavored the wine and the shallots. They've always done their job. Just gonna strain this out now. About 2 tablespoons of liquid is all I'm gonna have. This is cooled down now. Just wanna make sure I get all that goodness. Just press that down. Just wanna get all the flavor out of those shallots. Now we wanna start flavoring this. Get some of our mayonnaise. Just a couple dollops here. Just whisk this in. Here we go. I'm just gonna add some chives now. Flavor this all up. Look how beautiful this looks. Beautiful little dipping sauce for our lobsters. Let's get a quick taste. That white wine and shallot, now the chives, that's perfect. Pop it into the fridge, just let it set up. I'm gonna go hit a bucket of balls. Jim shoots 160 yesterday, gets a hole in one, still has to pay for dinner. God, I love golf. I'm gonna smoke my scallops and my lobsters, but before I do that, I'm gonna flavor a little butter here now. Soft, room temperature butter. See how soft that was? Just get this into a bowl, and we're gonna flavor this with some Pernod. And that's an adult version of licorice also. Let's get that in. Now this is for the lobster. It's really gonna flavor that. Let's just close this back up. Little Pernod, just a touch. You just wanna start flavoring it here. You don't want it too runny. Get that there. Start mixing this around. Just soften that butter up. So I'm gonna shape this butter into little cigars because I'm gonna pop these right onto the lobster and it's gonna really flavor it, its own little sauce. The rest I'm just gonna reserve and I'm gonna baste my lobster with it later. But first I gotta clean up. Just get a little plastic wrap here now. Want to form these cigars, and this will really help. So just pop that off onto our board. Just add a little butter right to the center. Just a little cigar we're forming here. I'm gonna pop these into the fridge and they'll set up really nicely. So there we go. Just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Twist the ends. There we go. So just roll these nice and tight. Pop them into your fridge. They'll set up really nicely. Time to smoke some shellfish. Before I get my lobster and scallops on, I've got to build some smoke pouches here. Aluminum foil. And I'm using a mixture of wood now. I'm using apple and cherry wood because that is really sweet. So 1 part wet, that's gonna stretch it out, and 2 parts dry. That'll start it burning right away. So just build this little pouch, do the old fold. Now all we wanna do is poke as many holes as possible into this because the more smoke, the more flavor. So just poke some holes in there. Want to get this pouch on to a super high heat grill, and I want to get my lobster on at the same time. So my foil pouch is on. I want to turn the heat down underneath the grill now. Turn it down to low. We want nice and plump, all the smoke flavor, that's it. So time to get our lobsters on. We want to make sure that the flesh side is exposed, looking up. That way all the smoke will go in. Let's get the last one on here. A few claws fell off, not a big problem. Just get those on there too. At this point, just gonna close the lid. Once we see smoke, get the scallops on. It's gonna take no time at all. There's the smoke now. Wanna season my scallops before I get them on? Just a little olive oil here. Nothing fancy, just get it on. Little salt and pepper, because you know you have to season as you go along. We've got our Pernod butter here that I'm just gonna baste my lobsters with. So put these right on top, leave those alone, and just start brushing the tails. I brushed the tails with that Pernod butter. All that flavor's in there now. Just want to get them over on the flesh side now. I want a lot of smoke. It may look like I'm not seeing everything, but I am. Trust me. We'll leave those. Close your lid. 30 minutes, they're done. I'm still doing this dinner for Jim, celebrating his hole-in-one. Man, and he's still paying for this too. Anyways, got some rice here, wild rice and some regular converted rice. Trusty rice cooker, best investment I've ever made. Pop that in, 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of liquid here. You can use H2O. I'm using chicken stock. Just get that in there, cover your rice, splash of Pernod, because the Pernod is gonna go really well with my lobster. This whole dish is for the lobster. Just add a couple bay leaves for that earthy flavor. Close the lid, turn it on, 20 minutes, you got rice done. Finito. Look at all the dirt in here. I soaked those leeks, just pull it out gently. You don't want all that dirt to go back, but that's why you have to soak them. Beauty of cooking outdoors. Oh, and it's kind of warm too. Oh, that's really nice. Pop those in a tray. So we have our carrots next. Simple, simple, simple here. Just cut them in half. This will help once they get onto the grill, cook nice and evenly. Pop them in. This is no big trouble here. Here we go. Spuds, I'm gonna leave them whole. Want to try something new today. Just pop these in. A little bit of olive oil. Little salt and pepper. These are ready for the grill. There we go. These are nicely seasoned now. Tenderloin's next. So we'll just get our filling here, some blue cheese and some spinach. Let's just get our tenderloin out. It's been marinating for 6 hours now in a dry rub. Just want to get it in a non-reactive bowl. Just let it sit there. We still have to get our stuffing ready. So we've got some fennel, grown-up licorice, anise flavor. Just cut the tops off, cut it down the center, take the heart out. Just cut it down nice and small. Flip it down. There we go. That's finished. Into our bowl. We have to sweat these down in stages now. But first, let's cut the hole into our tenderloin. All we want to do now is use our boning knife. We're gonna go in right through the center. Cut all the way through, push it all the way through. Make sure you stay even. Turn it around, creating a pocket in here now. Take it out, do the same thing on the other side. Go in right through the center, and you should meet up. Turn it all the way around. Just turn your knife. There you go. Put your hand all the way through. If your fingers touch, you hit home. I hit home. Back. We'll just leave that alone for a bit. Time to sweat off my fennel. We've got our fennel, and we've got a hot pan. Little olive oil. Just get that in there. Just coat the bottom. You want to saute these. Get them in. It's going to take a couple minutes now, maybe 4 minutes to soften up. There we go. Just let that cook down. This is sufficiently sweated down now, nice and soft. Just want to add my bell pepper, red. Got to go in order of how hard they are. That's why you need to put them in this way. Shallots. There we go. Nice onion. Just saute these until they're nice and soft now. Just let that cook down for a while. Second last ingredient, little baby spinach. You want to put this in just at the end. You want this to wilt just nicely. You don't need to cook spinach, you just want to wilt it down. Here we go, just toss that in, just fold it in nicely. Spinach is wilted, time to pull it off the heat. Just grab our trusty bowl here, because I want to fire this into the freezer to cool it down. You never want to add a hot stuffing to a cold piece of meat. But I'm almost ready to go to the grill. So just get that in, mix it around, pop it into the freezer, couple minutes, we're ready to go. I pull the stuffing out of the freezer, good temperature now. Easy to work with, nice and cold. Last part of our filling, some blue cheese. Really salty, but really good flavor here. It's gonna add another texture to that beef tenderloin. So just crumble that, get it in, and just fold that in. Grab our tenderloin. We've already pierced the meat, so there's a hole in there. Just start filling the middle. Do it from both ends. Don't try to poke it all the way through. Tenderloin is nicely stuffed now. Guys are gonna be here soon. I've got to get this stuff on the grill. I'm gonna get my veg and my meat on. But first, two-tiered heat. Left-hand side, 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat. That's hot enough. I wanna sear my tenderloin. Right-hand side, 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, 5 steamboats. You get the picture. I don't wanna char my vegetables too much. I just want them to cook evenly. But I really want a high sear on the beef. Before I do that, oil my grill down. I'm using a little veg oil. You can use any kind of oil you want. Just wipe that down. You don't want anything sticking to the grill. First, beef. High heat. Hear that sound? Perfect. It's gonna char in all that dry rub. Vegetables. Put my potatoes in the basket. It's gonna take at least 15 minutes. Put my carrots in the back. They're gonna come out really nicely. You'll see those char marks and it'll be really, really sweet. Just wanna pop on the leeks. They're gonna take the least amount of time. And these will cook nice and evenly in the front here. Just put those on. My vegetables are all okay right now. Beef, it's gonna take about 5 minutes before it starts to char. I wanna cook with the lid up because I have to watch for flare-ups here. So, I'll stand here and watch. Leeks are ready to come off. Nice color on them, nice and soft. That's gonna taste amazing. Potatoes, they're gonna take another 5, maybe 10 minutes or so. We'll watch those nice and closely. Beef, gonna turn the heat down now. Medium to medium low. At this point, I can close the lid, cook it like a conventional oven. Take about 8 minutes. I'm gonna leave the lid up, crack a beer, watch it for about 11 minutes, enjoy the sun, and watch my beef cook. My potatoes and my beef, just off the grill. Potatoes are still nice and hot. The beef is still hot. Look at the inside here. Look at that filling, really nice. Cooked to medium rare. All I'm gonna do now, get a little foil and tent them. Why am I tenting it? I want all those juices to go back to their natural places. It'll be very, very tender once I cut into it. All I have to do now is get my lobster and my scallops off. It's been 30 minutes. I can't wait to see those lobsters and scallops. The smell in here is incredible. The Pernod from the lobsters and the smoke, the cherry wood, the apple wood is just infused. Oh my goodness. Let me just feel these. That cherry wood, the apple wood, that's really good. That's excellent. Just take these off. Everything is done now. All I have to do is just plate. Got a little arugula in my hands here now. I just want to plate these with a little vinaigrette. One on top. Boys are gonna love this. Now we're gonna do our lobster. That rice I had out before. Got a little wild rice plus that converted rice. Just gonna get that right on top. I'll give the boys some nice shells. They can crack that. Got a little Pernod butter here. Just a little knob on each one. There we go. Perfect. All we have left is our tenderloin. Look at that, beautifully medium rare inside. These are nice and thick. Pop that down, another one. Let's get some potatoes on here. Put the last little bit on. This is ready to go to the table.
I still think you gotta tee off of the men's tee. You've been teeing off the ladies' tee all this time? Cheers.